So today we are here to talk about the new Savvy Minerals Kabuki brush. I've named him Carlos, and I'm going to show you how I use it to apply foundation, bronzer, blush, and highlight, and tell you kind of my thoughts and things about it. Excuse my face, I just primed my face, so it's angry because I touched it. But actually my skin was looking amazing this morning. I guess you'll just have to take my word for that. Okay, so this is just kind of what happens with rosacea. It's so funny, like if I do anything where I get the least bit warm, my face gets really angry and people are like, are you okay? Do you need a glass of water? Do you need to sit down? And I'm like, I'm fine, it's just my face. Like, it's just what it does. So anyway, here we go. Like I said, I've already primed my face like just now before I hit go live. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to spritz my brush one time, okay? And then I'm going to go into my warm 2, and I'm tapping it in the jar, the sifter part of the jar, to kind of distribute it a little bit better. And then I'm going to go in circular motions. I get better results this way. Circular motions. Good morning, Christy. Do that first and then come back and tap. Because this brush really holds on to product. And it's very easy to either over apply or wind up with like splotchiness where you have areas of heavier coverage than others. So I find one spritz on the brush and then get your normal amount on there. Do it in the sifter to kind of distribute it across the brush a little bit better. And then circular motions. Then if you have areas where you need a bit more coverage, you can come back and pat over. But having that layer already down helps to keep it from getting splotchy. And the circular motions give you a better looking coverage. Like I said, this holds on to a lot of product, so it's very easy to overdo it. And that was something that I was very surprised with about this brush, but you know, just from what I saw of the pictures, I was expecting it to be fluffier like this. You see how that wiggles? This one doesn't do that because it's more densely packed. So because of that, it just holds on to more product. So it actually does a really good job with foundation, which I'm very surprised by. But there is a little bit of a technique. To it to avoid overdoing it, because I've been playing with it and trying it all the ways, and I definitely overdid it yesterday. No, Saturday. Yesterday was fine. Yesterday, oh my goodness. So I had church yesterday, and I sing on the worship team, and our church is in a warehouse. So air conditioning the space is difficult, challenging to say the least, especially since we're having like the summer in hell this year. And so I'm up on the stage under lights and everything, and it's ridiculously hot. And so I sweat for 4 hours, basically, because we have 2 services. So I sweat for 4 hours, and when I got in the car, my makeup looked amazing. My eye makeup was a different story. I mean, because I cried and sweat into my eyes. So my eye makeup was a different story, but my face makeup still looked really good. And even after, you know, several hours later, I went to my parents for lunch and everything. And I got home about 6 o'clock, so the makeup had been on for 12 hours in the heat. Not the whole time, but you know what I mean. And it still looked really, really good. Okay, so I'm talking, and this is I'm being more precious than I I was yesterday, but I have found that it makes really quick work of foundation. So, and at this point, I'm just being fussy, but like I could call this done. I could, but I'm not gonna. So I just want to show you guys a little bit more about building the coverage. So like I said, what I do is I first go on with the circular motions, and then I come back and tap and buff out on areas where I need more coverage or want more coverage, let's face it. Sometimes I don't need the coverage, but I just want it. So yeah, I'm really pleased. The only area that I struggle with a little bit in getting the coverage that I need is right here. Because it's a small area, I get really red right here, like in my unibrow area. So I have been going in with the regular foundation brush, but there you go, foundation done. So now we're gonna dip into some bronzer, and it's kind of the same principle. I get a little bit on the brush, and then I take the sifter part and I distribute it around, just so I don't have like heavy concentration. And then again, circular motions right on around. I do not use misting spray for bronzer or blush. I've gotten questions about that, so I just wanted to make that clear. Okay, and then you don't have to do this, but you can if you're concerned. There's nothing left on this brush, but just to make sure, you can wipe it off on a towel. And actually there is a little bit coming off. If you don't want to like commingle products, but that's just being fussy. You don't have to do that. Okay, now for the blush, it's a large brush, okay? And your cheek, it's bigger than my cheek, right? It's like the apple of my cheek. This is bigger. I don't want that much blush. So I'm gonna use just kind of this part right here. And I'm gonna dip in to the thing. Okay, and then I'm gonna take the excess off on the back of my arm here. And then again, circular motions. I'm trying to go a little higher up placement, just because this is, I do believe you're blushing and it's shimmery. I can't do the sifter thing with the blush because it's all in there. So, but you could do that if your sifter is clean. And the same deal, just circular motions to get it on there. And there you go. And again, if you wanna just be on the safe side, scooch, you know, whatever product off. But I would flip, you could also just flip to the other side for highlight. And I'm gonna use just that edge there. Okay. And go right on that cheekbone. And on the edge of my nose. And there we go. Foundation, blush, bronzer, and highlight, all with Carlos. And if you're not doing a video and talking the whole time, then it's a little bit quicker. I did find yesterday when I did my full face with no, when I wasn't filming and trying to explain and whatever, that it went really, really fast. And the size of the brush obviously is the reason for that. So I've been very surprised by the level of coverage that I've been able to achieve with this brush, and I don't really feel like I'm using that much more product really. So I'm very surprised by that. The reason for that is the density. Excuse me. The density of the brush. is to, you know, the reason why you can achieve pretty decent coverage with this brush. It is nicely packed, so it holds on to the product. Definitely better if you work in circular motions and then come back and pat over areas that you need more coverage. I love the way it applies bronzer. You can make it work for blush. It's not my favorite for blush, I'm gonna be honest. I prefer the blush brush just because I like a very specific placement. But if you like just a little bit on the apple of the cheek, this will totally do it for you. And then in a pinch, you can make it work for highlight too. So like if you're traveling or something and you don't wanna bring, you know, 4 brushes for your face, then you can bring this guy and he'll get it all done for you. Again, pleasantly surprised by this brush. Actually, I'm gonna do one more thing, contour. Let's try that. So I would use the same principle that I used for the highlight. Just go right on the edge there. This would definitely be good, I think, I've gotten some comments from people that have said, I tried to do contouring and my face just looked dirty. I think this would be a good one to try for that for you, because it doesn't, you're not gonna get, especially if you do the tap off, you know, and you just get it right on that edge and then you tap off the excess, you're not gonna get like a line. It's not gonna be like a heavy deposit of product. It's just gonna be nice and subtle and blended well. So yeah, another use, contouring. So I'm a fan of Carlos here. I like him a lot. I think that if you don't have any other of the Savvy Minerals face brushes, this would be a really good first brush because you can make it work for so many different things. Again, there is a technique for the foundation to get really nice even coverage. The circular motions work the best for that, so that you're going to want to remember that. But otherwise, I'm really pleased with it. I'm so glad that I got it. And yeah, I've been having a whole lot of fun playing with him. So if y'all have any questions about anything that I shared, you can pop those down in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you have the Kabuki brush and you have anything you want to add to that, pop those down in the comment section too. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. That would make me really happy. You can also find me on Facebook at Savvy Girls Guide or Instagram at SavvyGirlsGuide_YL. I'd love to chat with you in either of those places too. I guess that's it for me. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all have an amazing Monday and I'll see y'all later. Bye.